Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're diving into the command line. You know, that black screen with blinking text that can look pretty intimidating. But here's the secret. It's actually one of the most powerful tools you have for managing your digital life. You just need to know a few key commands to unlock all that power.
So let's start with a feeling we've all had. That sinking feeling in your stomach. A wrong click, a mistyped command, and poof, a folder you desperately need is just gone. That moment of pure panic, that's our starting point today, on our journey from total chaos to total control.
So, that file's gone. What do you do? How do you even begin to recover? And maybe more importantly, how do you set things up so this kind of thing never, ever happens again?
Here's the thing about the command line. There's no undo button. There's no trash can to go digging through. The only way out is through. You have to learn the tools. So let's start from scratch and rebuild our workspace, but this time we're going to do it with precision. Okay, let's get building. Before we can organize or move anything around, we've got to actually create the space itself. And we're going to do it all right from the command line. Our very first building block is a command called mkdir. It's short for make directory, which is just the command line's way of saying folder. Think of it as creating a brand new empty box, ready for you to put stuff in. And this right here? This is one of those first whoa moments you get with the command line. Normally, you'd have to make a terminal talk folder, then open it, then make a season 2 folder, open that, and then finally create drafts. But here, with that little -p flag, you create that whole nested structure perfectly organized in one single command. It's beautiful. So now we have our directories, our folders. We need something to put inside them. That's where the touch command comes in. It is, without a doubt, the fastest way to create a file. You just type touch, give it a file name, and boom, an empty file instantly appears, ready and waiting for it. All right, so we've created files, we've created folders. Now it's time to learn how to move them around with like surgical precision. This is where you really start to feel that sense of control kicking in.
So CP is for copying, simple enough. But here's the thing you have to remember. The critical detail, that little -R flag. It stands for recursive. If you try to copy a whole folder without it, it's not going to work. But add -R and it copies the folder and every single thing inside it. Forgetting that is a classic beginner mistake, so burn that one into your brain.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. The mv or move command has this cool double life. See, in the command line world, there isn't a separate rename command. You just use mv. To rename a file, you just move it from its old name to its new name, right in the same spot. It's just so efficient.
Okay, we've built our space, we've organized our files. Now we have to go back and face the very command that caused all our problems in the first place. rm, the remove command. It's time to learn how to handle this power responsibly. Pay attention, because this might be the most important lesson of this entire explainer. When you drag a file to the trash can on your desktop, you can get it back. When you use rm in the command line, it is gone. Instantly. Forever. There is no getting it back. This command is not a toy. It demands respect.
So, to stop another disaster from happening, you just need to get into this simple 3-step safety habit. First, use ls to double-check what's actually in the directory. Then, use rm, but with the -I flag. That stands for interactive. The system will actually stop and ask you, are you sure you want to delete this? That one little step turns a really dangerous command into a perfectly manageable one.
And this quote just captures the whole philosophy of a smart command line user. It's not about having a flawless memory, it's about building safety nets right into your habits. That -I flag, it's your new best friend whenever you're cleaning house.
Of course, before you copy or move or especially delete a file, you probably want to know what's in it, right? Well, the command line has a bunch of ways to let you peek inside files without ever having to open a big, clunky text editor. Now, you'll hear people go back and forth about using cat versus less. The trick is just knowing which tool to grab for the job. Cat is perfect for just dumping the contents of a small file right onto your screen. You get a quick look, and you're done. But if you're trying to look at a huge log file, less is your command. It opens the file up in this nice scrollable view that you can move through, and when you're done, you just hit Q to quit. And if you want to get even more specific, head and tail are just fantastic. They do exactly what they sound like. But the real magic trick here is tail-F. This command actually follows a file, printing out new lines as they're added in real time. It is an absolute game changer for watching log files or data streams.
Okay, for our final concept, let's get into something a little more advanced, but it really shows off the true flexibility of the command line. We're talking about links. And just to be clear, we're not talking about website hyperlinks. These are powerful pointers right inside your computer's own file system.
This can be a bit of a tricky concept. So let's use an analogy. A hard link is like a perfect mirror image of a file. It's a second name that points to the exact same data. If you delete the original file, the mirror image, the hard link still works perfectly. A symbolic link, though, that's more like a signpost or a shortcut on your desktop. It just points to where the original file is. If you move or delete that original file, the signpost is left pointing at nothing. The link is broken.
And this quote, this gets to the heart of both their power and their danger. Symbolic links are incredible for organizing things. You can make one file look like it's in a dozen different places at once without actually copying it. But they also add a layer of complexity. If you're not careful, you can end up with a tangled web of links, some of them broken, leading to what our friend Bash here calls file chaos.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. The command line gives you an absolutely incredible amount of power. The power to create, to organize, to link, and to delete, all with unmatched speed. But with all that power comes the responsibility to be careful, to be deliberate. These tools can build perfect order out of chaos, or they can create even more of it. Which one is? Well, that choice is entirely up to you.